I'm Joe. How you doing, everybody? Well, it's still officially winter on the calendar. Yeah, Matt the Greeter here, Bug Smasher. Yeah, so hey, I got a quick update for you. And yeah, it's been a while since I've been on the bike. So here's the deal. I just essentially, this year, because of the way things went, I covered it for like 2 months straight, something like that. I don't know. This is the least I've ridden, I think, it's the least I've ridden ever in my life since I've started riding. So as far as like winter time, because normally I'm a 4 seasons guy, and yeah, the band and the time of year. But yeah, this is the first year. So as you know, I had a leak happening, and over on the beautiful side of the bike, and it would be the pipe side. And so I ended up having to, because I could not find anybody willing to work on it, I went to Mom's and I said, hey, I bought the bike here a long time ago when you were at your old location. Is there any way? And they had mercy on me and they fixed it. But so meanwhile, my engine mounts were looking pretty shot and maybe feeling pretty shot. And so, you know, I mentioned that because another person who had looked at the bike said, oh man, your engine mounts they're shot. And so I asked the guys at Mom's. They have a guy who is familiar with older Harleys, and so yeah, he looked at him and he's like, yeah, you know what, you got some life left in them, so if you don't want to fix them right now, you know, you can kind of push it ahead. Because, you know, I explained my financial situation, which is, of course, you know, positively bleak, you know, and ain't getting any better at the moment. So in spite of you know, blah blah blah, won't go there. Some people are convinced things are getting a lot better right now, but can I tell you, as a real live person in a real live world, yeah, I don't see it, and nor do I see the brilliance that some of my other friends are raving about. So anyhow, yeah, I'm not sensing or feeling or experiencing any of that. So so I was like, all right, yeah, we'll push that ahead. We'll push the thing ahead. And I you can find it on, I don't remember which video it was. You could probably look back, and but it was like later that day, you know, they had fixed my bike. It came back in good shape, and I actually reattached my oxygen sensors. One of them was attached pretty good, and the other one was on by barely a thread. So you know, I was like, oh my goodness, you know, there you go, that's what you get for doing something yourself years ago. So who knows how long that's been a situation. So I'm interested to see if I have more power or less feedback, as they say. Anyhow, yeah, so we pushed that ahead, and then later that day or the following day, I hit in a shadow a recessed sewer cover, and whammo, instant vibration, and not the Beach Boys kind, right? And that was it. That's the end of the road for my engine mounts, which probably could have made it a while, but man, that sewer cover, I hit that, and it's been nothing but extra vibration ever since, and I am more so than a regular Dyna. So ended up, nobody would work on the bike because it was older than 10 years. Can you believe that? Mechanics around here are either dead or they've moved, right? So you know that story from last season. I shared that. And then all of a sudden 3 people sprung up that were willing to work on the bike. And so I was like, oh my goodness, that's great. But meanwhile, we were in ice. It was ice, tons of road salt, and it was just not rideable. And so I was like, all right, yeah, as soon as the weather clears a little bit, and then the roads just did not clear here. It was mountains of salt for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. So finally, you know, the salt is kind of gone and whatever, and so I started reaching out. Guy number 1 can't do it. Guy number 2 turned out to be he couldn't do it as well. He was willing, but just couldn't do it. And guy number 3 wound up being like maybe not so trustworthy, and so that ain't happening. And so you know, I just earlier today I reached back out to Mum's, and man, I don't know what the lesson is here. Don't buy a bike if you don't know how to fix it. Maybe could be one thing. Don't buy a Harley unless you got tons of money, maybe. Again, things are pretty endlessly fixable on this. It's an 09, so that's good. The problem is, you know, if you can't do it yourself, everybody's going rate is like $159 an hour for labor, and brothers and sisters, I ain't earning $159 an hour for the labor that I do, which, you know, all told is well over 40 hours a week. So that is the situation that I'm in now. So anyhow, I've reached back out to Mum's. I'm hoping they'll do it, and that'll be great. I'll talk all kinds of good things about them if they fix it and it runs right, you know. It's just that caveat that $159 an hour for labor, and you know, that's just what's going on. And I was really starting to consider, for the first time ever, maybe it's time to move the Bug Smasher along and get something you know, cheaper and a little you know, younger. I would say more reliable. This has been a very reliable bike for me, but maybe something cheaper, you know. But I think that's just crazy talk, and so hope to not have to entertain those thoughts again. But I started, you know, thinking, yeah, kind of preparing myself in advance, like, dude, if it's got to go, I don't want to see it on somebody else's channel. That'll sting a little, you know what I mean? But dudes, unless I, you know, can figure something out, or unless you know, if you know, anyway, that's a story for another day, so forget that. But I was gonna say, if everybody who worked hard earned this, you know, like, you know, comparable, and you didn't have to, like, you know, take a massive pay cut just to, like, work with people and, you know, try to do right by people, then you know, because I could do other jobs, you know, I have a master's and all, blah blah, who cares? I could do other jobs and make a lot of money, and I'm just not willing to do that. So if it means someday I have to get rid of this bike and then pick up something cheaper and likely smaller CC, you know, then that's just something that you know, I'm prepared to do it. I don't want to do it, but I'm prepared to. So short story long, wound up being a very long winter. The roads were bad for a very long stretch. Oh, and one of my Ben Lowry directionals, the rear left signal is out, and it's been 10 months. That's long enough. That's not long enough for anything to have happened. So I reached back out to Ben Lowry. The LEDs, when they work, are great. They're incredible. But when it ain't working, I can't pass an inspection or anything like that. So, you know, Ben Lowry, I've reached out. If they send me another one, I'll snap it in, and we'll see how long these babies go. If I don't hear back in a week or two, I'm just going to put the halogens back in. Who cares? You know, I love the LEDs. I think they're great. And certainly riding around here where it gets very busy and you need all the visibility you can get. However, I'm not buying a new set of LEDs. Not a chance. So I have my old halogens, so don't be surprised if those get snapped back in. You know, you're not going back in time. You know, these aren't old videos necessarily. If I do that, I just you know, going back to simple. That's the way it is, man. You know, may I live 1,000 years and never have an infotainment screen or anything like that. You know, I think, hey, what are you gonna do? That's just who I am. Anyhow, Matt the Greeter, that's it. That's a quick update, much longer than it needed to be. And for those of you who don't know my channel, how uninteresting was that? Yeah, I also thought about too, like, yeah, dude, if the bike goes down, you know, and just doesn't work and I can't afford another one, there goes the channel. And that's fine too. Be an answer to some people's prayers. Leave a comment. But that's it, guys. Matt the Greeter, care about you. And hey, look forward to a lot of riding. And hey, send some prayers. let you know, that mums would see me in good favor and would agree to work on my bike and get it tip top, and that it would be quick and wouldn't cost mega bucks. That's it. Talk to you soon. Bye.